This is the Embr Wave. It's a high-tech personal thermostat that you wear on your wrist, and it costs about $300 bucks. $300 Embr Wave, $300 gadget. This is a cheap gel wrap that goes in your wrist, and it cost me $15. Is this expensive high-tech device worth the cost, or would a cheap alternative do? And let's find out in today's comparison. Let's crack this thing open. Oh, how pretty, look at this. All right, step one is done. It has almost a fingerprint pattern to it. I'll plug this in and download the app. I like this kind of cool green pulsating glow it emits when it's charging. Aesthetically, it's very pleasing just to watch it charge. I haven't put it on yet. This is by Zen. Some instructions which I will read. And we have a gel wrap here. It's very jelly filling. This can be used hot or cold. So obviously it fits in the sleeve right here. 15 bucks. Maybe this will be a nice cheap alternative to this $300 job right here. But on the other hand, this has an app. This one, low tech. And this one says it takes you about a week to get used to. This one doesn't. I got my work cut out for me for at least another week before I come to a conclusion which one's better. Now last night I did notice a few things about the two of these compared side by side. Number one was on my computer. The cheap gel wrist wrap, I can pretty much rest on my laptop and not worry about it. I can type. But the Embr Wave on the inside of my wrist, I feel like it's kind of hitting. So I was kind of lifting my hand up in a very awkward position to type like that. So I'm not really sure if it's really good for having while you're on your computer. I guess you can wear it on the top of your wrist like a watch, but they say to wear it on the inside of your wrist. So this is not really where you're supposed to be wearing it, but it would be easier when you're on your computer. So I'm gonna leave it on the inside of my wrist and just continue to use it the way they recommend. Another thing I did realize last night is that you can wash your hands when you're wearing the Embr Wave. Not as much with this one, unless you don't mind having this wet part on your wrist the rest of the night. Another thing is that this one only lasted about an hour before the gel pack was starting to warm up. This one, I'm still on the original charge. I'm using it quite a bit, and it's giving me a lot more time than the gel wrap is as far as the frozen goes. Let's see how cold these things really get with this laser. All right, it says it's cooling right now. Let's see. It shows at 80 degrees. 80? Okay, it feels cold right now. Let me take it off real quick. I don't have the band on, so I can quickly check the back of it. I feel it, it's cold right now. That's weird. Oh, I can't figure that one out. Let's see this. Does that say 13 degrees? 12 degrees? 12 degrees? Wow. Let's put it in the sleeve and see how it measures there. With the sleeve on, it's a brisk 24 degrees. 34. It's all over the place. But cold. That's why when I put this on my wrist, it feels like my hand's gonna fall off because it's that cold. I'm gonna put this on my wrist and measure my wrist temperature. It feels cold, but it's not really. How strange. What sorcery are they using that it doesn't register on the thermometer? Maybe someone in the comments can tell me what's up with that. Now I'm gonna check this wrist. This has been on for a little bit and see what my wrist reading is on this. 72. Much colder. The nearby skin is 90. Then you go down to the low 70s. This is interesting. I'm gonna have to read up and see if I can figure out why it's actually not showing up on the thermometer. Let's not forget that both of these can work as a heating element as well. Now with the Embr Wave, it's very simple. You can either just push this button until you get all the heating you want, or you can fire up the app and just do it that way. It feels pretty warm already. I'm getting a reading on this one. Oh yeah. I don't know why I couldn't get on the cold. You can see the warming wave is just ended. Not nearly as convenient. This goes in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And you gotta watch it because you don't want it to explode. They even say you gotta watch to make sure it doesn't start expanding, which is kind of scary actually. I feel like something's gonna explode in there. That feels pretty warm. I'm gonna call that good. All right, so that was 20 seconds in the microwave, yeah. All right, well I do feel the heat. Oh yeah, it's nice and warm. That's the direct gel wrap. Let's try it when it's inside the sleeve. It's all over the place. The readings are all over the place. Now as I'm wearing both of these, I feel a lot more warmth over here. It's more concentrated here, but it's a much general area. This feels more therapeutic. You got a bum wrist or something like that. This one is a lot lighter, but as far as the convenience goes of switching from cold to hot, no comparison. Either use your app or just push the button. You can go from cold to hot immediately. This one, you could probably go from cold to hot in about, a couple hours, because you gotta stick it in the freezer. On the other hand, this delivers a much wider, deeper sense of constant cold and hot, but it only lasts an hour. This one on one charge can last you a week, depending on how much you use it. Completely different products. I thought maybe I was gonna be able to get a good comparison, and they're really completely different. It feels colder than 85 degrees. I don't know how it works. It feels cold, but it's not showing up as cold on here. Sorcery, I tell you. Just strolling out here in a nearby park, and I've got my Embr Wave and my wrist wrap on. I would say right now, the wrist wrap is significantly colder than the Embr Wave, but again, this one only lasts me about an hour, and this one will last me for about a week. I don't think that either one of these really gives the kind of relief from heat or cold that the advertising for them indicate. It's my wrists are cold, that's about it. It's a mild 96 degrees out here right now, and that actually is mild for this time of year in southern Nevada, but it's still warm, and I don't feel like my cold wrists are really making me feel any colder. So I bought this cheap wrist wrap thinking that I could get the same results as I could from the Embr Wave, delivering heat and cold to my wrist. Although they're not really marketed that way, I just thought, oh, maybe I'll give it a shot. The wrist wrap does deliver intense heat and cold, so cold that it actually numbs my hands sometimes. Of course, you can put it in the fridge instead of the freezer, so it's not as cold, but then it won't last as long either. For heat, it's not a problem because you can just stick it in the microwave and warm it up quickly. For cold, you gotta put it back in the fridge or the freezer and get it cold again. So depending on what you're looking for is which one you would choose. I think most people are not gonna spend 300 bucks on this. Sorry, I don't think they will. I'd almost rather take my chances, maybe even get two of these and get a second insert and swap them out, because 15 bucks, 300, it's really hard to justify that kind of expense for something like this. But on the other hand, it totally works. It's a well-made product. The app is good. I have nothing to complain about it, really, except for the price. All right, today is actually day 15. What I want to do right now is show you how the app works. I don't have this on yet, but I'm gonna turn it on with the app. There's a plus and a minus, that's for warm or cool. I'm gonna tap the cool button and get it started. And my wrist is already getting cool. As you can see, the temperature is dropping and it's cooling off right now. And this comes in waves, the Embr Wave. That's why it's called the Embr Wave, I think, because it comes in waves. See how it got cool? Now it's not as cold, and it says next wave is coming up. There's a slider right here where you can actually adjust the temperature the way you want it to go. You can hit the plus and minus, or you can slide the slider. There's a few other things in here. They have stats like your average. All right, well, I know that at one point that was at 45 minutes and now it shows 0, so I'm not sure why that app is not keeping this data in there. But I have been using it almost every day. You tap on the modes button, you have extended, fall asleep, custom, essential, and quick. So you have 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, or custom. I've been leaving on the extended. I kind of like the 30 minutes, and it still lasts me quite a while. The low battery consumption, you get 30 sessions, which is a lot. Medium between 10 and 30, and high 10 or less. So certainly you get a lot more for one charge out of this than you do one freeze out of this. Now the question is, does this actually provide benefits like they say? I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'm not sure if I'm getting the benefits out of it that I wanted, but I don't know. I'm at day 15, so I should know by now, shouldn't I? If I'm not sure, what does that tell you? I'm tapping the button here. You can actually adjust the temperature with this button right here. And that's kind of cool. Literally and figuratively. I'm gonna put a poll up above. You guys tell me what you think. Vote on this before I finish this video. I was thinking of a couple things I wanted to point out. Number one is that the people at Embr Wave note that there's been some studies that show that strategically placed hot or cold around your body can actually give you an overall sense of warmth or cool, depending on which one you're applying. I think that's kind of what the technology is based on. That's why they say it on the underside of your wrist, not there, because that area is one of those strategic places. I'm not sure that I get that overall sense of cool when I'm wearing this out in the warm desert heat. Not quite sure. I know that my wrist feels nice and cool, but I'm not sure if I have an overall sense that I'm cooler. Maybe I missed that study. Maybe if I read the study, I'll actually feel cooler when I'm wearing this, because I'm not really seeing it. On the other hand, the gel wrist wrap, which I'm not wearing now, it doesn't last that long. This thing you can kind of turn on all throughout the day, and it's pretty convenient. So as with everything else related to this review, I seem completely on the fence about whether this is really effective or not. I'm mainly looking at the pros and cons of the Embr Wave right now. The first pro is that it actually works exactly as they advertise. It delivers heat and cold to your wrist whenever you need it. The second pro would be that the app that comes with it is very robust. It's easy to control. It actually gives you a lot of control over the Embr Wave. As far as the temperature goes, the app is well designed. The third pro would be the duration. I've had this thing for about 3 weeks now, and I've only charged it a couple times. The battery life is quite impressive. Number 4 would be the installation and the setup. All went smoothly. I've even updated the firmware. All that went without a hitch. I don't think anybody's gonna have a problem installing and setting up the Embr Wave. And finally, the fifth pro would be this magnetic band, which actually is quite easy to take on and off and to adjust. I actually kind of like this, so the band is my fifth pro. Now let's take a look at some of the cons with the Embr Wave. By far the biggest con is this thing's 300 bucks. Now they might have a special going on where it's 270 or 250, but still, the $300 price tag is going to be prohibitive to most people who are even interested in this. The second con, I think, would be the benefit. To me, to have a circle on my wrist about that big, either getting heat or cold, doesn't really get me warmed up overall or give me any kind of psychological relief. I know how it's advertised, but I just don't get it. The third con to me is when to wear this, because you're not really supposed to have it on 24 hours a day, so either you leave it on all the time and you're not using it all the time, or you have to take it on and off. So to me, when to wear it is actually kind of a con. Number 4 would be if you have other accessories on your wrist, like watches or bracelets, it's going to be in the way, or you have to move it to your dominant hand, which you're supposed to actually use your non-dominant hand, so it can be in the way, and it's not even something you use all the time. So when to wear it and where you wear it are both cons. And the fifth con, I would say, would be obstruction. When you're on your computer, on typing like this, it's gonna be clanking on the desk, and that's not fun. The pros with this one are that it delivers intense heat and cold to a larger area. It's very cheap, and it's easy to use. You just strap it on. The cons would be that the cold, you have to wait for it in the fridge or the freezer. So it can actually get too cold, and it actually is quite bulky, if you see that. I honestly have no idea which one I would choose. Because I'm not really on the bandwagon as far as the benefits they advertise for the Embr Wave, I'd probably just use this one because it's only 15 bucks. I could probably get 2 of them and just circulate the wraps in the freezer. I don't know. This has been one of my hardest reviews to do. I've had this for 3 weeks. It's hard to review something like this. It's on your wrist and you say, well, it's nice and there's a nice warm spot on my wrist, or there's a nice cold spot on my wrist. It's really hard to review something like this. So that's all I really have about it. Have you guys used either product like this? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Please follow my social profiles for progress pictures, videos as I go. And please subscribe for more product reviews from me, James White, with Freakin' Reviews.